Here's a brief history of how China domesticated its own martial art and the change that I believe is getting ready to come. The common belief is that Kung Fu is a martial art, when in reality it's just a term used to encompass all Chinese martial arts. The literal translation for Kung Fu is effort over a period of time. So learning to cook, going to the gym, or practicing math are all Kung Fu. However, it is most often used to refer to the group of Chinese martial arts. The actual term for martial arts used in China is wushu, which is a combination for the words for walk or march and lance or spear. This kind of gives the image of a soldier getting ready to battle, which makes sense. Martial arts is the art of war, and a soldier marching with a lance. Modern wushu, the national sport of China, is a combination of several different styles. In 1958, a little less than a decade after the Chinese Communist Party took power, they created the Chinese State Commission for Physical and Cultural Sports. This organization standardized wushu and made it the national sport of China. Then, in 1989, the Chinese National Research Institute of Wushu was created, and it was made the central authority of pretty much anything wushu. This now leads us to the modern day, where wushu is more of a cultural art, like a dance, rather than a combat sport. And this, I believe, was the intention of the Chinese Communist Party all along. They wanted that national identity that came with the martial art. However, they did not necessarily want their citizens to know how to fight. So they picked the middle ground, making this martial art that was more of an artistic, cultural thing rather than something to teach people how to actually hold themselves in a fight. In recent years, that decision has come back to bite China. When you see people who actually train, who actually get in a ring and fight other people, challenge these old Kung Fu masters who are very good in their style, but never pressure test or train to a fight, the Kung Fu master always gets wasted. And I believe that is not the fault of the style, as many claim. It is, in a sense, but it is because of the Chinese Communist Party that wanted a neutered version of the martial art, that now the martial arts in China are not that great for fighting anymore. That being said, with so many Kung Fu masters getting defeated by people who actually train, there's starting to be an upsurgence of combat sports in China. You see this a lot with Sancho or Sanda, or Sanda, I never know how to pronounce it, where it is in its infancy stage, but I believe it's going to be the Chinese MMA. And I think it will take China a minute to embrace it, but I believe for what they want, the cultural part of the martial arts, but also not to be made fun of on the world stage, will lead them into embracing Sanda. Because then they will have fighters who can go into Western MMA divisions and then show that Kung Fu is not what Chinese have made it before, the neutered version, that it actually has some teeth to it. Will this come soon? I'm not sure. Because you got to keep in mind, the Chinese still wouldn't want their people to know how to fight, because then that could lead to uprisings against the government. But I personally believe that the embarrassment of their cultural martial arts losing so often will then lead them to endorse better martial arts.